Warning, don't listen if it's a podcast you want. This is a Chumcast. Just your basic gabfest among chums. A little news, some entertainment, an annoying opinion or two, and, if you're lucky, maybe even a chuckle.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
So it's time to buckle up. Whetstone Entertainment, in association with Is Chill Productions, presents Don't Listen, a basic Chumcast. And here are your hosts, Big Red and the Shebs.
Remember, everyone, just don't be yourselves.
It's showtime.
Go time.
Fire it up, Big Red.
Oh, yeah. Some people call me the Space Cowboy.
and your shirt fits that.
But I do have a alien eating pizza.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I mean, if I was an alien, I would eat pizza too. I'm surprised E.T. didn't eat more pizza. He ate some, but didn't eat enough.
No, I totally agree.
It's the Don't Listen Chumcast. I'm Big Red along with the Shebs, and we are inside the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk studios.
Oh, the Beach Boardwalk in Santa Cruz, California. That's California's oldest surviving amusement
No
park.
way. Is it really?
Yeah, it was early 1900s when it was kind of built up.
Holy moly.
People were going there to the Santa Cruz area before that in the 1870s and 80s, but
What?
yeah.
I've been there a million times and I had no idea.
That's the oldest one, and for all our fans across the globe,
those are crickets, bro.
No,
those
for
are
all
crickets.
the crickets,
Yeah, there's like a half dozen.
for all the people not listening, this is really kind of ranks up there with Atlantic City, New Jersey, Coney Island, New York,
Yeah.
the Navy Pier in Illinois, and of course just south of us, the Santa Monica Pier in Los Angeles.
So those are very good comparisons. So we're talking about Northern California where there's lots of sharks in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Lots of surfers, right? Lots of seals. So I was never going to get into that water, ever.
Nah, yeah, it's not, and it's colder. It's generally the water is colder. So,
But the actual boardwalk itself does have that Coney Island. It does have that feel to
it's got that pier with restaurants and stuff on it, and then at the end, all the fishermen out there, as well as then the boardwalk with, I think right now they got about 30 or 40 active rides. The famous one, the Giant Dipper, which is an all wooden roller coaster. So
which was fantastic.
It's good fun.
We would just go back and forth. We would just go get off the ride and get back in the line. Get back on the ride, get back on the line.
Exactly.
And then they have something there called like the zipper or something that would
I don't
freaking
know.
zip you around everywhere.
All I remember, I called it the locking bar ride, where you pull a bar and it locks your cab. It's like a Ferris wheel, but you can lock your cab so you can go inverted if you want.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And the bumper cars were very popular.
Oh yeah, it had that old school amusement park feel. Yeah.
Cotton candy,
The whole thing.
caramel corn.
And such a classic look, and that still remains. It's featured in. Remember, it was the most famous film was probably The Lost Boys. That was Santa Carla.
Oh, yeah.
And The Lost Boys.
That's right. I was actually shocked.
1987.
I was actually shocked that they filmed something in Santa Cruz.
They have, there's been several. I'm going to look this up. So we got, first one, Harold and Maude, 1971. Don't forget Sudden Impact, Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
Sandra Locke.
Really?
Remember, all that assault happens at the boardwalk, remember?
Oh.
That she's hunting people down in Sudden Impact.
That was like 1984. Clint was a young
83.
stud.
Yeah, 83. So.
Young stud.
But you had Chasing Mavericks, Dangerous Minds, one of our studio names.
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous Minds had some scenes filmed there. And then most lately, I think Us, one of Jordan Peele's horror flicks.
Oh.
Had some scenes filmed there. But again, been the backdrop of many, many movies. Iconic, wonderful place to go if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area or visiting. It's certainly worth to go down, and just a really nice beach town. A lot of hemp.
Yeah, just the drive from here, the drive south, maybe an hour and a half or whatever. But that drive down there is crazy. I mean, through the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Two ways, right? You can go the mountains.
That's the only way we ever go.
Or you just kind of go up and cut through by Half Moon Bay and then do a nice coastal,
beautiful,
comfy cruise, which is a little bit longer, but it's a beautiful straight shot.
And the feel in Santa Cruz is still like 1970s hippie.
Yeah.
Right? Because you'll go through downtown, which is very quaint, very beautiful, right? It's definitely one of a kind for sure.
Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk Studios.
More hugs and less drugs.
What do we got coming up, Big Red?
So Holla, of course, is coming up a little bit later. So that is when we open ourselves up to tons of abuse and a little bit of love. We're going to read the emails and the DMs a little bit later. Also, we're going to go back to the 80s and check out the best guitar solos. That's more cowbell. And it's being brought to you by our friends at Getty Music Box. We also have a power poll. Crazy Town is coming up a little bit later. We're going to dive into Caligula. We've got the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka. But right now, let's get into what happened back on this day in history. And it's being brought to you by Fernando's Mexican Restaurants.
On this day in history.
All right, let's take a look at what happened back on this day in 1874. And I think all of you should be, unless you're super duper old or reincarnated or been to heaven and hell and come back, I don't think you were around in 1874 for this. This is the Great Locust Storm that hit the Rockies and it moved east.
What?
Yeah, the Great Locust Storm.
A storm of locusts.
Yeah, which is really scary. It's an estimated, like, dude, this is going to get, this is giving me nightmares ever since I wrote this thing. This morning, I wrote this morning, and it was like freaking 12.5 trillion. Imagine. You wake up and then
Trillion?
12.5 trillion locusts, or what they called flying grasshoppers. They got pissed and they organized into a massive swarm.
They organized into a swarm?
Yeah, into this massive swarm, and it was so bad that I'm talking about 12.5 trillion locusts. So you couldn't see the sun, and for that matter, you couldn't see the sky. They devoured everything green. And a lot of wood, too. Estates, farms, you name it, yum, yum. Yummy, yummy in my grasshopper tummy. It went down. And in Missouri, so it went from the Rocky Mountains all the way to Missouri, east. And the Missouri newspapers, some of the quotes were very funny. Everything green. They devoured everything green. A lot of wood too, estates, farms, and you name it, right? That was some of the stuff. Overwhelming visitation, right? Ferocious appetites, amazing rapidity.
How did they get rid of them? Did they all die?
Who made up the word rapidity?
That's a good word.
Amazing rapidity.
We should put that on t-shirts.
Can you imagine, dude?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Rapidity.
12.5
If they all die,
trillion.
that is fertilizer for that ground, though.
Oh, they all died.
Yeah.
And they smelled.
In the great harvest the next year.
So from the Rockies to Missouri, the Midwest was completely devastated. The 1870s, or just basically a post-Civil War time in America, was tough, dude. Lincoln gets murdered basically days after the Civil War. There's the run on the banks, which is commonly referred to as the Panic of 1873, where everybody was fucking broke. Then the Indians, of course, are wiping out American armies. I mean, there's everything. The 1870s is a rough period, dude.
Ow.
And we're not even talking about the locusts coming around in 1874. Farming and agricultural development practices of the American expansion into the Western U.S. is the most commonly accepted theory for this plague, right? So you have all these, immigrants that are going west because we're just expanding into the West. They're getting into the Rockies, which is probably pristine at this point.
Yeah, untouched. Yeah,
untouched pretty much. And they're going in there, they're knocking down timber, they're building ranches, and these locusts are like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? It probably disturbed all the wildlife in the Rockies.
So some locusts called a meeting of other locusts, and then they started to organize.
That's exactly right. They got pissed off. You don't want to piss off 12.5 trillion locusts.
It's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Right? So they get together and they go, hey, we're going to fuck these people up because they're screwing with our homes. Right? So that's what they're blaming it on. That's the most common thing, is that the farmers disrupted the wildlife there so bad that, and we're talking about something serious here. This is not like a small swarm. It's 1,800 miles long. It's 110 miles wide of flying large locusts. Dude, I'm done. They're pissed. They're mean. They're hungry. And they're looking for some payback. 198,000 square miles.
Jeez.
Of complete destruction. And that's bigger than California. And where's the movie is my question.
No, there should be a movie on that.
Yeah, didn't Hitchcock do the freaking Crows or something?
I think it all got trumped by the Dust Bowl, for the Great. I think that just kind of took all the wind out of that story's sail.
But the Dust Bowl was after.
I know. I'm saying that's why after. I think everybody just goes to the Dust Bowl first.
Yeah, but we could do a double feature at the Laurel or at the Belmont Theater, and we could do the movie. The first movie would be the Dust Bowl, and then the second movie could be the Locusts.
Can you imagine like all the buggies back then? All the you're trying to kind of go really fast down the dirt road, and all the locusts are hitting your windshield. Got to get some wipers. That's probably that's how they invented the windshield wiper.
That is.
It's true.
You're probably right.
Says it right here.
So the farmers got decimated. They starved. They lost all their crops. They had to get government help just to feed themselves. And it's one of the largest locust storms ever, thank God, because it's 12.5 trillion of these. Dude, and they were not small. I saw pictures of them. They're not like little small things.
They're huge.
They're like, half the size of my beep.
Yeah.
This was a complete disaster. I'm so glad that I'm living in modern times, dude. So it changed American agricultural practices forever. First, actually, if you wanted to know the process, so everything green, right? So first they would eat the crops, then they would get inside of the homes, and they would eat the carpets, they would eat the clothing, and then they would devour the wood, if they were wood. They would devour these entire wood structures. And here's the kicker. They would eat the wool right off of the sheep. They would just, they would pile up on sheep.
Shearing sheep.
Yeah. They would pile up on the sheep and just eat them like they were at a buffet. Like, God. Crazy, right? Then after their bellies were all full, years later, maybe decades later, all these locusts just disappeared.
All right.
Extinct. Never to be seen again. The Rocky Mountain locust. It finished its last meal. And that's what happened on this day in history back in 1874. And it was presented by our friends at Fernando's Mexican Restaurants.
Don'tListenChumcast.com.
You've been corrupted, hijacked, and exploited. Don't listen.
This is how we party.
Nothing, but a whole lot of nothing burger right here. Don't listen.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for sticking around. I'm Big Red, and he's the Shebs, and we are tossing the grenades today.
Yes.
And we've got more hugs and less drugs.
Yes.
And there's some freak offs coming up a little bit later, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll be followed by Holla. which is the segment where we like to make fun of ourselves. We're going to go back to the 80s with more cowbell. We've got a power pole coming up, Crazy Town. But right now, let's get into the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka, which is being brought to you by T&G Auto Repair.
Oh yeah, the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka.
The fishbowl is present.
Dude, let's thank your boys because they just brought in the Mexican.
Food has arrived.
Yeah, dude, I am starving.
Smells really good. Whetstone Entertainment, we have Michael and Doug, as always.
Hey, dude, right there.
In the house. From Is Chill Productions, we have Evan, Daniel, Eric, Marcio, and, of course,
hey, where's it?
The keeper of the fishbowl, Rachel.
Hey, where's the... Okay, good. Utensils are always very important.
There you go.
They're not always very important, but every once in a while I like to use a utensil when I'm chowing down on one of these super burritos.
It's good stuff. It might get cold, but everybody has to wait till we're done.
Hey, dude. Okay, so let's get into the Booyah. Are we picking? Are you picking or am I picking?
You pick right there.
Okay.
What do you got?
Let's see. Let me reach over here. Hey, dude, seriously. We're gonna miss out on all the good grub here. Okay.
Freaking Evan.
All right, so let's do the tattoo history.
That's the card?
You don't have a tattoo, do you?
No.
Yeah, I don't have one. What do you mean? No, everybody has tattoos.
I know
now.
everybody has it, but no, I don't.
Yeah, I don't have one. If you had one, what would it be? I think mine would be like, a cross, like a big crucifix.
Okay.
Like on my huge bicep right here.
Mine would be similar. I think Michael's from Whetstone. His son has one that I like. It's the Ragger symbol for those anybody out there in YMCA land. It's a circle with a square inside of it with a triangle inside it. Inside the triangle is a cross. That's if I had to get one, that's what I would get.
Okay, so I'm almost sorry that I asked because when I was a kid, it was mostly hippies, Hell's Angels, and gang members, right? But it goes back much, much further than the 70s. It goes back thousands of years. This is the history of tattoos, bro. It started with tribes, with ancient religions, barbarians, Vikings, and the markings of slaves. Did you know that?
I was not aware of that.
See, this is some interesting stuff, man. And for the people who are just getting familiar with myself and the Shebs, this is the shit that we sit around and we talk about. The history of tattoos.
Yeah.
Did you know that back in the Vikings? No, that wasn't the Vikings. It was the frickin' This is what we do.
Yeah.
And we're bringing this all we're boring the three crickets to tears.
We'll come up with something similar over tacos after the show.
Oh, they're eating my tacos right now. So, but I'll tell you what. We'll make this quick. But this has always been very interesting to me because I've never been interested in a tattoo. Like for whatever reason, I've never been interested in the pain that's involved in this game. But in the 1900s, there was a huge tattoo boom. Women began tattooing their entire bodies, everything except for their heads. They joined the circus and they called themselves, air quotes, tattooed ladies, right? They were for show. They were kind of freaks. They were the early freaks, right? So then a down period comes until the 1930s when the 30s hit. 1 out of 10 Americans get tattoos. Then by the 1950s, tattoos were only associated with being in what they would refer to as a lower class. The religious stereotypes gained all kinds of dominance. It got very negative, especially with women.
Yep.
So you can see how this history is already very interesting, right? It starts out as tribal and religious, and then it gets into freakazoid, and then it gets into taboo, right? It gets into you're going to hell if you get a tattoo.
I can see that. Yep.
You're very lucky you didn't get a tattoo because if you did, you would have been going to hell in the 1950s.
Yeah, probably.
Especially if you were a woman.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very interesting history. You know, we weave in and out of all these very fickle and always very changing American history. Tattoos rose again with guess who? Think Haight-Ashbury.
Yeah, the hippies, baby.
That's right. In the late 1960s into the 70s, Janis Joplin actually brought major credibility to the streets with her wristlet and another tattoo that she had above her boob. that she showed off quite a bit. And this actually took the American perception from deviant now into expression.
Yeah.
So the times are changing, right? And then we skip to 1988, where tattoos gained acceptance with, I guess, what they refer to as the counterculture, the resistance. So it morphed from bikers and sailors and gang members into now the more middle and upper classes. Designs became far more flashy. Sleeves have become very trendy.
Yep.
Tattooers, you can see the shift here. Tattooers, they were called tattooers, became tattoo artists. Barbie actually got a tattoo.
No way. Not Barbie.
Yeah, you can look it up. You can look it up. And I bet you Barbie had beautiful skin. See, that's my kind of thing, right? Was that I have this freckled, very pale skin, right? Gross. It's not one of my, it's not something I'm going to brag about. I'm not going to brag about the sunburn or the grossness of my skin. So I have always looked at other people, and one of the first things that I notice about other people is, wow, beautiful skin.
There you go.
Well, such beautiful skin, right? When you don't have it, that's kind of what you notice, right? You become aware of that. So when I see people that have these beautiful bronze skin and the beautiful complexions, my kind of thing is like, why? I'm trying to be less judgmental, but I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Expression, like you said.
God blessed you. The universe blessed you with this beautifully, insanely beautiful, soft, beautiful bronze skin.
Yeah.
And we're going to go that route.
Yeah, it's the era of expression.
It is. It is the era of expansion. And Barbie got a tattoo. So that says something.
Where?
I don't know. You got to look it up. There's a bunch of them. Pop culture, women, they began to drop the fairies and the flowers, and they went a bit more masculine with tribals, dragons, and crosses. So we're making some progress here. Neck and face tattoos, they're now trendy. 30% of Americans today, we're talking about today now, we've taken you full circle with this edition of the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka. Today, 30% of Americans under 25, they've got tattoos.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of people do. Yeah.
And a whopping 40% between the ages of 45 and 54 are now tatted up. And that was the history of the tattoo, the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka. And it was brought to you by our friends at T&G Auto Repair.
Time to unplug and run.
There's never enough booze to get through this shit. Don't listen.
Three, two, one, jump!
Follow us on Facebook and let's get stupid.
Yeah, welcome back, you guys, but just hang on one second. Seriously, that's mine. You understand?
Guys, just wait for us.
Yeah. Okay.
God, they're just totally making plates.
So welcome back to the Don't Listen Chumcast. I'm Big Red. He's the Shebs. We are inside the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk studios.
Yes.
It's Mind Virus Central. I would appreciate it if you would get your fucking hands off my awesome sauce, dude. Get it off.
He's serious this time.
And it's time for a little mansplaining coming up. We want you guys to stick around because the show, if you think it's like awesome, it's going to get even better if you just hang on, because we're going to get to the DMs where we like to make fun of ourselves. That's in a segment we call Holla. More cowbell. We're going to talk the best guitar solos of the 1980s.
Nice.
We've got a power poll that's coming up. And right now, let's get into Crazy Town, which is being brought to you by Happy Drinks Lounge.
Welcome to Crazy Town. All aboard!
And welcome back. We are embracing the suck and the love handles and the man boobs.
That's me.
Crazy Town. We're talking about Caligula.
Now, we're talking about the movie or the person?
We're talking about the person, but you can throw in your movie knowledge.
The movie's fantastic.
I think you've been talking about this since like noon today.
Well, I thought we should make the movie the primary, but you want to talk about the person.
Well,
you go first. Mine is again. Anybody in the 80s, if you didn't know Caligula, the movie, the unrated movie that came out, that's a total X-rated film.
Look at you, dude. You got a boner.
Oh,
You're
come
all
on.
kinds of goosebumped up.
And it was not in the adult section. It was out there right next to the Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay, so there's a reason why Caligula is being featured in Crazy Town today. This crazy-ass Roman emperor, he was around from 37 AD to 41 AD. That's just for you math majors out there. That's 4 years, but it was a long-ass 4 years. It was a reign of terror. The poor Romans. I could not feel any sorrier for any group of people ever. Why? Honestly, this may have been the worst 4 years that any group of people have had to go through in their entire existence of the earth. The 4 years of Caligula rule were filled with two words:
terror
and fear.
Brutality.
And we can add brutality in there too.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Literally, the dude rampaged his way through Rome completely. And his go-tos were...
cutting people's heads off.
Murder.
Yeah.
And sticking his dick in everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just
adultery.
Rape. Yeah.
And?
He liked to force people to drink alcohol and then tie their Johnson off and not let them pee and then stick knives in their belly and let all the wine out.
We call that debauchery.
Yes.
So the three go-tos were murder, adultery, and debauchery. But really, Caligula, if you're listening at home, never really had a chance. This is the sympathetic moment that we have for him.
Yeah.
His dad was Germanicus, and he was like this huge military hero who thought for some reason that it would be like an absolute beautiful family affair, a day in the park to pack the fucking picnic basket and bring his 3-year-old son, who is Caligula, to the battlefields and watch all of the killing, all of the murdering, all of the bloodbaths. And hold on. Let's go. Come on, Caligula. Come on, little Caligula. Hey, Caligula. I got you on a field trip today. We're going to go, come here, buddy. We're going to go, give me your hand. I'm going to take you out to the battlefield so you can see these guys cut each other's heads off.
Not appropriate.
Can you please make sure you give me some extra mustard on my bologna sandwich?
He should not be there. He should be in a positive learning environment surrounded by other children his age, learning about boundaries.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. His mom came too. And by the way, these Roman battles that he was seeing by Germanicus were the bloodiest in history. They are absolutely 100% notorious.
Perfect.
For being the biggest bloodbaths you can ever think of. His mom, by the way, she came along, and she's absolutely no angel. She's a complete tyrant. She brainwashes Caligula into thinking that he is the immortal god. So, as life goes on, and he becomes, the top dude in Rome, she becomes his closest, most trusted advisor.
Okay.
So he's kind of screwed from the get-go, right? He's got this Germanicus dad who's taking him out to the battlefield to watch him, see people get beheaded and stabbed and bloodied and tortured and all that kind of stuff. And he's got a mom who's a complete tyrant who is totally in charge of everything, who is telling him, you're the immortal god.
That explains a lot.
Well, it's a little bit of foreshadowing. That's what we like to call this. A little bit of foreshadowing. So there's a little bit of sympathy for the guy, but it's really important to raise your children in a responsible manner.
Yes, even back then.
Dramatic pause.
Just saying. Yeah.
Right out of the gates of his reign, of Caligula's reign, things get absolutely twisted. He spent Rome. He spent all the money that Rome had built up, which was cajillions, and then more. He spent them into actual bankruptcy. He built a bridge out of hundreds of merchant ships, and then this guy's a freak, dude. He gallops across it for 2 days straight in this dazzling, beautiful, freaking sparkling Robin from Batman and Robin. Looks just like that, like a yellow glitter cape. And he's just galloping back and forth over this bridge that costs cajillions. And he's doing this in front of the entire city, who now are beginning, and all the senators. So everybody in Rome is starting to go, dude, the guy is not right.
Yes.
The guy is not. Why are we watching him gallop across in his Robin cape for 2 days? What is wrong with this guy? He just spent $3 trillion over budget to do this. So they're starting to get a glimpse, but it doesn't matter because he continues spending. He's spending this money, and the Romans don't have it at this point. So he's building these lavish aqueducts, these huge harbors, these theaters, temples, movie theaters just for porn. You know,
God, he's just.
I'm just kidding. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they rated those movies back then.
Yeah, and it's all about him. Everything has his name on it. Everything is in gold, and it's all about him. And the first movie they show is Caligula.
There you go.
That's your favorite movie of all time. You would have been first in line.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. That movie was soft porn, bro.
Well, I watched it. It was not soft porn.
It was.
It was not. It was full porn.
They showed vaginas and
Absolutely
and
they
dicks.
did.
Wow.
Absolutely they did.
I think I watched it, but it didn't leave a mark.
All I'm saying is there was just, again, the movie came out, and it was you looked respectable, right? You had all these famous actors in it: Malcolm McDowell, Sir John Gielgud, Peter O'Toole, Helen Mirren.
Did Helen Mirren get naked?
I don't remember.
I might have to check
because a
that
lot
out.
of people got naked, but
because I'm into granny porn.
But this is when she was young. This is like one of her first films.
Oh God, bless her.
So, but the point is, it was associated with Penthouse and Larry Flint.
Yes.
So
it's quality.
So they took all the debauchery that you refer to in Caligula's life, and they showed it graphically.
That's the most important thing.
So they took this serious movie and intertwined it. So it's very, so you come across feeling, okay, it's very historical. It's very historically accurate. But
sure
it was
it is.
Just this non-rated movie, again, found out with all the regular movies that you could just rent, and then as a young teenager, you're all fired up.
Yeah, you're jerking off.
Oh, well, about that.
Oh, we don't want to go that far.
We don't want to go that far.
Well, but you're getting a stiffy.
Yeah, at a minimum, yeah.
So did they show him spending a bunch of money? Caligula?
Yeah, they showed they showed all the nutness. His killings and that kind of stuff.
I like the way you used the word nutness.
Nutness, yeah.
Busting a nut.
All
right.
Yes.
So with the money thing, the reason I mention that is because the Senate is super pissed off. They're brewing up. They're all meeting behind closed doors, and they're brewing up ways that they can freaking get rid of this guy.
He was not good.
Yeah, but he's
just not even a good person.
No. He's not close to being a good person. He's totally screwed up by his mom and dad who took him out to the battlefield when he was 3 years old. That's what it's all about. But so the Senate's getting all pissed off there. He can feel the heat a little bit. He's losing, on top of all this stuff, he loses every single battle that he gets into. And his dad is Germanicus. His dad is like the military hero of the whole world. And this guy.
Hence the rub.
So he becomes very, very desperate for a victory. He becomes so desperate that he starts making up battles that he wins, right? And the soldiers are going, dude, we didn't ever went there for a battle. What are you talking about? Like the Roman army is going, dude, what are you fucking talking about? Dude, we weren't there.
You don't have the army.
What are you smoking, Caligula?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm a little desperate, kids. So again, he's feeling the heat from the Senate now, and but he steps up his game a little bit by burning Romans in public for bringing goats even remotely near him. He's got this phobia of goats.
How can you not like a goat?
I don't know. They have those weird eyes with like the little rectangular pupils.
Okay.
Right? I don't think Alice in Chains were very big fans of the goats either.
Oh, they didn't like goats?
I think there's something satanic maybe about that. But maybe the goats were talking to Caligula. I don't know. But he didn't like them, and he didn't like them so much that he was burning these dudes in public. And he formally ends up declaring himself the immortal god, and he did this in front of the entire Roman, community. He did this because it gave him the right to rape, enslave both men and women, and then he could murder them when he was done with them.
Yep.
Randomly, he was murdering senators. He was hearing that they were disagreeing with him and that they were a little bit pissed off. So randomly, he just walks up to them and starts stabbing them in the back.
See?
Right? It's pure chaos on the streets of Rome at this point. He is randomly also not just senators, but he's also randomly just murdering people. If they make eye contact with him, he's murdering them. He builds these luxury barges, and these are all just built, trillions of dollars, once again, just for his drunken orgies, right? So
and that's one of the scenes in the movie.
It's got to be. I mean, that's epic.
Yeah.
That's absolutely epic. How about this? Was this in the movie? He is feeding humans to lions.
Yes.
Just for show.
Yes.
Right? It's like Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Lions eat people.
He built a machine with like
2-for-1 tickets.
Yeah, they built a machine with slight, kind of sharp things they would bury people up to their necks, and then this machine would come along and slice their heads off, and they would throw fruit and vegetables at their heads.
Very erratic.
Yes, it was horrible.
Very unpredictable. And all of Rome was scared to death of this guy. So we can wrap this up. Seriously, put that shit down.
They're all trying to go get the movie Caligula.
Keep an eye on these guys. So the best part of the story is that he actually has dinner at his dinner table every single night with his frickin' horse.
Yes. And Michael's confirming, by the way, that Helen Mirren did appear nude.
Oh, let's get the pictures.
Yeah, she appeared in nude in the film.
I'd marry her.
She's cute. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but this was important breaking news.
I think she was very
from
hot.
Michael.
Oh yeah, it is breaking news. Helen Mirren naked? That's a big deal.
In Caligula.
That's a very big
young
deal.
Helen Mirren.
Let's get that on Netflix. The best part of the story, besides the Helen Mirren, is that every night he had dinner at the table with his horse, who he publicly announced as his consulate. There was something very big between him and his horse. Didn't like goats, but he loved his horse. So basically, in the end, he had 4 wives, and only one of them was crazy enough to agree to give him a child. The Senate at this point had enough. They trap him. They stab him 30 times. They couldn't stab him enough. Everybody had to get some blood on their knives. And they weren't done. Once they made sure he was dead, not a breath coming out of that body, they went after his child. They killed the child, and then they still weren't done. They went throughout Rome, and they destroyed anything and everything about him. Every single thing. They absolutely did not want anybody to remember Caligula. And what's the rub?
Rub is that everybody remembers him from
right.
how bad he was, and how he was portrayed in the movie Caligula from the 1980s.
That's right. He goes down in history as the most, even better than Germanicus. He goes down as the greatest, most written about, most talked about emperor in Roman history.
That's it.
And that was Crazy Town, and it was brought to you by our friends at Happy Drinks Lounge.
Don'tListenChumcast.com.
Jesus, take the wheel. Don't listen.
3, 2, 1, jump!
Follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and let's get stupid.
Thanks for coming back and torturing yourself. I'm Big Red. He's the Shebs. It is the Don't Listen Chumcast. We got freak-offs and mansplaining.
Yes.
We have very low self-esteem and some erectile dysfunction.
And some tacos.
And also Helen Mirren naked.
In Caligula.
She's all natural.
Yeah.
She's all natural.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
Very beautiful.
It's nice that you brought that up for us. It's inspirational.
I'm glad I could participate. Yes.
So I'm glad you guys stuck around. It's going big time. We're going next level stupid.
Okay.
Right? So we got Holla, the DMs in just a minute. Oh God, are we gonna do the power poll now?
Let's do the power poll right now.
Okay, it's the What the Fuck Power Poll, and it's being brought to you by Dragon Skull Tattoos.
What the Power Poll?
What are we talking about today?
So you got to go to don'tlistenchumcast.com and participate in the poll. It's the WTF with the What the Fuck Power Poll, where we're asking you, are tattoos sexy? I think this is going to be 99.5% yes. Everybody seems to be into it except for me. I'm the only guy.
How about location based? I mean, if somebody has a tattoo across their face, that's kind of like, eh.
Oh, Travis Barker. He's got them everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got them everywhere. Eyelashes, eyelids, nostrils, inside of his. Oh, I will tell you this. I had a girlfriend, believe it or not, and she had just broken up with her ex-boyfriend or whatever, and she was telling me that her boyfriend had a tattoo inside of his lower gum.
Oh.
He had, and it said "fuck off." Inside of his so you pull
How do you
your lower
that?
lip down. You pull your lower lip down like this.
Yes.
And inside that gum right there,
Oh my God.
it would say "fuck off." And I was like, "You dated that?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, you're like kind of trashy. I'm into you. Let's
there you go.
Do it. Let's do it."
Make a power pull on that.
I mean, that's kind of the craziest spot that I've ever heard of a tattoo. And then now they go everywhere. So go to the website, don'tlistenchumcast.com, look for the power poll, the What the Fuck Power Poll, and participate. We're asking you, are tattoos sexy?
There you go. Easy question.
All right. So pass the awesome sauce as we get into Next Level Stupid.
Yes, this is my favorite segment.
That's right. It's time to get into more cowbell, and it's brought to you by Getty Music Box.
More cowbell.
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Today on More Cowbell, top 80s guitar solos.
Finally, some good 80s stuff. This is good.
But, you know, we can't get into this. I mean, we have to talk a little bit about the 70s. The 70s actually did produce some primo rock and roll.
I think it set the foundation, right, for the 80s.
I'd say the pioneers.
Right?
Right. We get it. Those were some epic times, some epic bands with some epic guitar solos. And we're talking about the 70s right off the top. Jimi Hendrix. He had a song called Machine Gun that was just insane.
Yep.
People had never seen anything like Jimi Hendrix. Right? When he came onto the scene, people had never seen anything like Jimmy Page. I mean, I think Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, this is still, and Heartbreaker is still influencing bands today.
Boy, I almost would say the 70s might take the 80s.
It's very close. I mean, it's the pioneer. It's the pioneer stage.
Yeah, and so many people crossed over. Like again, Eddie Van Halen from the 70s to the 80s. I mean,
But everybody from the 80s, all of these Eddie Van Halens and all these different guitar guys, they were all influenced by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
They all go back to Jimi Hendrix, right? So you got Jimi Hendrix, you got Jimmy Page, you got a lot of Jimmys. You got the Eagles, Hotel California.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Leonard Skinner with Freebird. I can't leave Ted Nugent, who I think goes under the radar a little bit.
He's so under the radar.
Yeah, he goes way under the
He's
radar.
kind of a nut, but yeah, he's under the radar.
So Stranglehold, I think, is that's all personal, but he's got a ton of fantastic guitar solos. And then there's Pink Floyd, who is repeatedly on every kind of list. And by the way, for these lists, and we understand this stuff is very personal and subjective, and everybody likes their own genre of music, but this is a media mix. Like this is a consensus of all the different websites and the data and the research and the people that we reached out to and talked to. So this is basically just a composite of what we would call like the accepted best list.
This is the primer. We're talking about the 70s to introduce the 80s. This is a primer where I think the bar was set. And I think the last keystone getting into the 80s was, again, Eddie Van Halen, Eruption. That was kind of the end of the 70s. He just set the bar, and he did so much in the 80s, but that set the stage for what was to come in the 80s.
Yeah. Can we really say enough about Eddie?
He needs his own segment. He really does. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, like the Shebs was saying there, our sweet spot is actually the 80s, but we can know and understand that the 70s this is all inspired by the 70s. So can we just say next level? The 80s took it to the next level. Yeah. And the 80s were dominated by the guitar solo, and the actual guitar solo took us into another dimension altogether. Don't get us wrong. I don't want anyone to get us wrong. We definitely respect the 70s. And like I said, this is the inspiration for the 80s. But like the random variety is our jam, the 80s is also our jam. So our loyalties do sort of lie with the 80s. And it's hard as hell. I want a little bit of respect for this, Jebs. I mean, we went through some hell trying to whittle this list down, right? Eliminating people is brutal.
And remember, it's not just about being fast with your fingers with these guys. It's how you bring it into the music, the song that it's in. And there's such thought into these solos which really distinguish them out of the gate.
And a lot of different styles. And before we go all kinds of spider monkey on your heads, we want to do a little disclaimer here and say that everybody's got a list, but this is ours. So we're going to start this thing chronologically, and we know you love the music as much as we do. We know you love your bands as much as we do, and it's all emotional and highly sensitive.
And you're wrong.
This is very sensitive.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You're totally wrong. So we're going to start off in 1980 with Ozzy and Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
Crazy Train.
Yeah. Rhoads was brilliant.
Nothing like it, right? Angus, also in 1980, was Angus Young from AC/DC with Back in Black.
Just, again, boy, and just known for his riffs. I mean, just that classic guitar intros to songs that he then built the solos off of are fantastic.
Just the fact that there are some surviving members of AC/DC that are still alive and they're still touring.
I think as we speak, they're out there, but people are saying they're kind of losing a step.
I don't know. They've got to be 200 years old. I mean,
about 125.
Yeah, but I mean, just announcing and actually going through with the travel and the touring. I mean, that says something about how much they love rock and roll, right?
Totally agree.
So 1982, Eddie Van Halen. It's Michael Jackson's "Beat It."
Yeah, fantastic, and kind of uncredited back in the day.
Uncredited?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't take.
He didn't get any money for it.
No, he just did it for free. And I think, remember, back in the day, a lot of information wasn't available, right? So, unlike today, but yeah, it was just nailed it on that song. Yeah,
I agree. I think that was when that was maybe my first exposure, one of my first exposures to him. And I was like, holy.
I didn't know it was Eddie Van Halen for years.
The song was amazing.
Yeah.
The song was amazing, but what made that song?
The
guitar solo.
There you go. All
right, so let's get into 1983. Stevie Ray Vaughan with Pride and Joy.
Okay.
And then we're going to get into some heavy stuff. Iron Maiden's Steve Harris and Adrian Smith came out with The Trooper, which blew the whole planet away.
Okay.
1984, Fade to Black, Kirk Hammett from Metallica.
Okay.
Bay Area fame.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen comes back with Hot for Teacher.
Okay.
And you said this was not about any finger movement, but let's talk about some finger movement.
Well,
on
I'm
that
just
one.
saying it fits the music. Yeah.
Well, that's finger movement.
Yeah, but you get not all the time.
For Hot for Teacher?
No, that's fine because it fits the song.
Yes, very much.
I'm just saying that you could do. It's probably is Prince on your list?
Is Eddie Van Halen the greatest ever?
Probably.
Yeah,
I'm just.
I think
for
Prince.
what he did.
I think Prince did a little finger movement.
Yeah. But he did it. I mean, like Purple Rain was very melodic in his solos.
Oh yeah, good point.
So it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It's not all about finger movement. It's about what you do with that. Yeah.
Is Eddie Van Halen the best ever?
Probably. I mean,
Better than Eric Clapton?
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm just for what. Yeah. I mean, I'm just. It's so hard to choose one. Everybody's so different.
I've never seen anything like Eddie Van Halen. How about Jimi Hendrix? He kind of fits that mold. No one had ever
Hendrix
seen.
or Page. I mean, come on. I mean, they're all. It's hard to say the best ever, but if you just in no order taking your top 5, yeah, Eddie's right there.
Can we agree that they were that Eddie, Eric Clapton, and Jimmy were all game changers? They changed it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of hesitating on Clapton as far as the upper echelon, but yeah, Jimmy.
What about Eddie Van Halen in 1984 with Jump? That guitar solo.
It's okay. I mean, it's a different.
It's okay.
No, am I from a guitar
It's okay.
solo?
It's okay. Do you want me to quote you on that?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Compared to what else he's done.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying. It's a great song. It again, Van Halen with 84 came in. It was a change in direction for them with the adding the keyboards and the synthesizers.
very big change.
So he really melded the guitar with the song. So it's fine, but is it better than Eruption from a guitar solo? No.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Is it better than his work in Beat It? No.
Did you ever see the movie Crossroads?
Yes, love that.
Okay. What was his name?
Stevie Vai.
Stevie Vai. But what? Ralph Macchio.
Oh, Ralph Macchio. Yeah,
That was a Ralph Macchio movie, right? So, Steve Vai of the Attitude song is one that sticks out to me. That was 1984. Every band wanted a piece of Steve Vai.
Yeah.
Right. David Lee Roth got him to be his guitarist for one of his solo albums.
Yeah.
Where he put together basically a super group.
They're touching like living in paradise.
Yep, that was it.
Just like paradise.
Yeah, that was it. And that was like a super group that he put together. Steve Vai was behind that.
Yep.
And Vai was actually inspired to play guitar by hearing Led Zeppelin's Heartbreaker.
Sure.
And this is one that's very overlooked. It's a band called Europe from 1986.
Yeah.
The name of the song is The Final Countdown. And that is a guitar solo from hell. I don't know if
it gets overshadowed by the keyboard introduction every time. Everybody loves the intro. Everybody focuses on the intro. They don't focus on the rest of the song.
It's never talked about.
It's never. The intro is.
And neither is John Norum.
No,
Nobody knows who John Norum is.
No, you don't talk about that whole thing.
So very much under the radar. What I would encourage people to do is, because 1986 is right at the apex of the 80s hair bands and the glam bands.
Yeah.
You kind of take a look at that, and that guitar solo is pretty phenomenal for a guy you've never heard of.
Sure.
For a band you've never heard of. Like they were gone. They came and went.
Yeah. The Final Countdown really. I mean, they did Carrie, right? That was another song they did.
I don't remember that one.
Carrie.
That was the love ballad.
That was their ballad.
Their power ballad. That's when the end of the 80s came. That was the end of the whole metal thing. And that was it.
I think Europe's still touring. I think they still do stuff.
Wow.
I think so.
Wow.
And what song did they open up with? Final Countdown.
Of course.
Yeah.
That was their one hit.
Like, come on.
That was their one
and
hit.
they drag it out. You drag that intro out. It's stupid.
They weren't from America, were they?
No, they're European.
Yeah, they did feel European to me. Hence the name Europe.
Yeah, like Scorpions.
Can't leave Joe Satriani off this list in 1986. He's always the song Always With Me, Always With You. Satriani and Vai were both out of the New York rockers crop in those early 80s where everybody was tapping into that.
Yep.
They were all coming out of that scene. So Kirk Hammett, he's again Metallica. He comes up on the list again, 1984. And then in 1988, he comes back with his Super Blaster 1. And I'm getting the vibe from you that you were not into Metallica at all.
I like Metallica, but ranking him, I mean, I think, I don't know. It just, I maybe have a couple more I'd put above him.
Well, let's hear them. I got one more left here. I got Queen's Brian May in 1989. Now, here's a guy who, look, he's on all these lists, right? I Want It All is the song that gives him all this credibility for the guitar solo, but he is largely and almost completely overshadowed by Freddie Mercury his entire career.
Yeah, and that's why I don't really think of Brian May as one of the greatest. Because,
nobody does.
Because it feels like the creative engine was absolutely from Freddie Mercury, right? And Freddie was directing what to do and how to do it. So that was it. I just feel, I think, we talked about Prince. I think I think if you, outside of Eddie Van Halen, I think Slash from Guns N' Roses has to be on the list.
For sure.
Both because of what he wrote, how he wrote it with the band, the music foundation of his guitar work that went into what it just, again, I think he's just one of the best. Very talented musician.
What about, let's get, these are some guys that were on a couple of lists. Go ahead.
But no, I'm a Bon Jovi fan. I don't think I would put Richie Sambora is one of the greatest guitar.
We're talking about guitar solos.
The solos, right?
Not the artist.
No, I'm just saying. I think from an intro, I think "Dead or Alive" is such an iconic melody written by Richie and John. I think you can't. I think that piece was actually written by Richie. But
yeah, Richie Sambora made the list, and C.C. DeVille from Poison.
Yeah. I think he had classic intros, a lot like Angus Young. But from his solos seemed overwork. I wouldn't put CC on the list for solos, but from musicians, from nice intro hooks, I think you have to go with CC and Poison.
What about Mick Mars?
Well,
Mick Mars is the guitarist from Motley Crue.
From Motley Crue, it's okay. He's okay.
Is Motley Crue that good and that well respected without him? Because they've been without him on plenty of songs.
Yeah,
they've tried to venture out into all kinds of different guitarists.
I just wouldn't put him up there.
All right. How about Carlos Santana?
Yeah, I think you got to kind of pivot to some different styles of music, right? But yeah, Santana, absolutely. I think from what musically what he brought, absolutely.
And then the last one that I'm sure you've never heard of. Have you ever heard of Zakk Wylde?
Sure.
So Black Label Society, and he was the guy that Ozzy went out and got for the Mama I'm Coming Home album.
Because what's his face died, Rhodes died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw Black Label Society, and I've been to several different Ozfests, and I had never heard of Zakk Wylde. Like, I had never heard, and I'll tell you, I was literally blasted. I was in the front row of that show. I was backstage.
And I got confused between Zach and Randy Rhoads.
Wow.
I just remember seeing them, and I was thinking, oh, that's still Randy? No, but he died. I didn't know that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, just the energy and the way he fit in with Ozzy was pretty amazing.
And his showmanship. I think so much about Ozzy with some of his music is surrounding yourself, because Ozzy's not animated. He's a great frontman, but he's not animated.
He could barely move when I saw him. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, so he's not animated, but so he surrounds himself with some guys that are holding love. I would only add, is it Mark Knopfler?
Oh yeah,
Dire Straits.
Yeah,
he's got a good skill.
Kind of bluesy.
Yeah, I think it's good
right?
skill. So
he used his fingers.
Yeah, that's in the right way. But but again, going back into those 80 Harris bands, I don't know if any of them will be up there with the greatest ever. So, with all the other names we were able to throw out there.
And that was more cowbell as we take a look back into the 80s, the top guitar solos of all time. And it was brought to you by our friends at Getty Music Box.
Time to unplug and run.
believe we have found the bottom. Don't listen.
Three, two, one, jump.
A whole lot of nothing burger right here. Don't listen.
Okay, thanks for sticking around. The torture is almost over. We're about out of here. We just got one last grenade to toss, and it's called Holla.
Holla! 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 Holla!
We're taking a look at our DMs and our emails in our segment Holla, and it's being brought to you by Career Zone Life Coaching.
Nice.
I could use some life coaching.
You totally need some coaching.
So we're going to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the Tulsa tornado, and he or she, we don't know what it is, but I've tried, but I cannot listen anymore. All your stupid shit. Listen to my advice about that. Listen to my advice about that. If you would listen to me instead of blowing me off with my advice, you would be a good show. So fuck off.
Thank you, Tornado. And just a reminder, you live in Oklahoma.
Keep it real. He's telling us to keep it real. There's too much fluff, ridiculously manufactured and corporate production. You are a class A fucktard.
All right. The Whetstone's a little pissed about that. Is Chill's kind of giving the middle finger.
And then he ends up with fuck off, you California bitches.
Here it is.
And you know what? We get a lot of heat just for being from California.
I know.
I mean, just the fact that we're California natives, people want to drill us. I don't get it.
Dude, the whole mountain fan base back in Virginia comes after us.
They're not into California.
Jesus.
So Tammy in Santa Monica, which is also California, guess what she says? Great show.
Yeah.
The last show that I heard was fantastic. I was so inspired to find, we talked about happiness and that how it only came from within. So she was so inspired to find my happiness and to stop depending on others for it, in particular, my ex-boyfriend. Very well said, Big Red and Shebs. Finally, I have decided that my happiness is only going to be found with me. People suck and will let you down every single time.
There you go.
Right. And actually, that was a fast lane. That was not a full-blown segment on one of our episodes.
That's right. That was your from the fast lane, but that's good.
So this is Dennis, who loves big boobs. He's in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, right, Dennis. Watch Caligula.
Yeah, he is in Spokane, Washington. Up and down, you two. Hit or miss. Sometimes I like you, and sometimes I hate you, just like my wife, who, by the way, she loves you. Right?
Who wouldn't?
So he loves his wife sometimes, and he has this love-hate thing with his wife and us, but she loves us, according to him.
Okay.
I did really enjoy the last show segment on fear. Very underrated. Sold to us all, and you sold it all to us all very well. And now he's saying here that he can't consume us all of the time, but it was a scary truth. When you bring it, you guys do actually really bring it. So he can't listen all the time, but when he does, he either loves us or hates us. This is very confusing.
Yes, well, not a very well-written email, but just maybe a short note here that Bon Jovi has a song called Fear.
Why don't you quit eating and start giving me some decent... Why don't they do that?
They've given you everything. They don't give me stuff anymore.
Where's Rachel? Where's she, dude?
Not there.
Oh, now he leaves.
Everybody's getting ready to go.
Okay, so Satanic Sarah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what, you guys do a great job. I'm donating $100, and I really appreciate that when you guys go back to nature. I enjoyed the hyenas and the bald eagles.
I remember that.
And I enjoy Namaste.
There you go. And there's no way she wrote Satanic Sarah.
Yes, that's it.
Did she'll put that in, or is that her real name?
We never know.
Okay.
We never know. We should probably try looking at these things every once in a while for ourselves.
Yeah, they give us the... Okay.
So that wraps it up, and it was a pretty decent Chumcast.
Good show. Good show.
So we'll catch you next time. And if you're having any suicidal thoughts, we don't want you to do it. We want you to call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 866-903-3787. And remember that all that we want is on the other side of fear.
Bye, Felicia.
Don't listen. A Basic Chumcast has been an exclusive presentation of Whetstone Entertainment in association with Is Chill Productions. Subscribe, follow, like, and share us while on your favorite social media hangouts and our YouTube channel. We're not into begging, but if you like us, review us and support us by continuing to check us out on your favorite podcast platforms. Find more fun and hit us with your feedback at don'tlistenchumcast.com.
Yeah, that's fantastic.